सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good evening. So please see page number 125. You're all studying in Vivekananda Institute of Languages, which is part of Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. So this Ramakrishna Math and Mission was founded by Swami Vivekananda in 1897. He started this organization in the name of his Guru. Who is Sri Ramakrishna and what is Sri Ramakrishna? In the words of Vivekananda. So Vivekananda is talking about his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna's life is a searchlight of infinite power thrown upon the whole mass of Indian religious thought. He was the living commentary to the Vedas and to their aim. He had lived in one life the whole cycle of the national religious existence in India. He is the latest and the most perfect, the concentrated embodiment of knowledge, jnana, love, bhakti, renunciation, tyaga, Catholicity, udarata, and the desire to serve mankind, and the spirit of service, to serve fellow human beings. You can understand him in different ways. As Swami is saying, he had lived in one life the whole cycle of the national religious existence of India. Indian history is spiritual history. India is a spiritual country. You just see our history. There was no period or there was no time when some sage, some incarnation, some yogi was not there in the midst of the people. Even in the midst of great political turmoil also, we had a galaxy of sages and saints who guided people on the spiritual path. You just see our history. So India's spiritual history is basically spiritual history, and Sri Ramakrishna's life is a great chapter in that spiritual history. In the annals of spiritual history of India, Sri Ramakrishna's life actually can be written in golden letters, has to be written in golden letters. What is his life and what are his teachings? You know, when he was asked to go to school, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa refused. He says, I don't want this education which gives me only job, which gives me only livelihood. I don't care for an education that gives me only a job, provides me only livelihood. That means the purpose of education is different according to him. Education should help me to understand life, in its entirety, right? Just to make a living. That is the goal of education. Today we have made it like that. So he did not go to school, he refused to go. His elder brother was his caretaker. His elder brother asked him, "You must go to school." He said, "I will not go. I don't want to." Why you don't want to go? No, no, it only gives me a job, livelihood. I don't care for that education. And then what did he do? Then, but he had other interests. So he was multifaceted. He was interested in music, in art, in painting, in drama. So many interests. He would listen to spiritual discourses with great attention, and he was always fond of sadhus and sannyasins, ascetics, mendicants. Whoever talks about God, he would go and hear them, what they are talking about God. Very active child, multifaceted, but never interested in formal education from childhood onwards. But then afterwards, you can call him an actually great spiritual scientist. He made experiments with himself. So then he came to Calcutta to the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. There was appointed the priest of the temple. How did he worship that Mother Kali there? Not like normal pujaris, normal priest. He would worship in a completely different manner. When he would offer Naivedya, he would offer to Divine Mother. He would ask her like a small child, how he would ask Mother, "Oh Mother, eat. Oh Mother, eat." So when he offers a flower, actually, he would always offer it with great devotion and great bhakti. And he would roll on the ground, crying piteously, "Oh mother, one more day has passed, one more day has gone, but you have not shown yourself to me. When will you reveal to me? Do you really exist? Or it's only a myth, it's only fiction? Do you really exist, or it's only myth or fiction for me? How long I have to wait like that?" Then one day he was so desperate he became. Okay? There was that, that mashet, that sword in mother's hand, divine mother's hand, Mother Kalika Devi. Image, you might have seen it, right? Kalika Devi, how she would look with a big sword in her hand. He drew out that sword and about to chop off his head. And that was the time actually he had that divine vision. Everything became one homogeneous mass of light, completely became unconscious. Thereafter, it was only bliss and bliss and bliss, Brahmananda. Thereafter, continuously enjoying that Brahmananda. So many great people like Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, or all Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Keshav Chandra Sen, founder of Brahma Samaj, the intelligentsia of Calcutta of those days all got attracted to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. They all sat at his feet and heard spiritual discourses and learned about God, and they changed the direction of their own lives. Of course, the greatest man was Swami Vivekananda, his foremost disciple. So it's a completely different story. We all are here. We want money, we want job, we want, power, all these things. But Sri Ramakrishna from very childhood wanted only God, wanted to know only about God. Spiritual scientist, he made experiments with himself. And so his life serves actually as a kind of guidepost for us. If you really want to know truth, how you have to conduct yourself, what kind of longing you need to have, right? What kind of character you need to develop. So all these things will be revealed to us if you read his life. That's what Vivekananda says actually. In vain is the life of that individual who doesn't come across, who doesn't read Sri Ramakrishna, he says. So it's a spiritual phenomenon what he had created, in fact. A mighty genius in spiritual world. Like, we just explore the material world. But what he wanted to know is the creator behind the creation was more important for him. You know, Instead of knowing the universe in piecemeal, we will never be able to know the complete universe. Vivekananda also used to say that I don't want the science of the maid, I want the science of the maker. Right? I don't want the science of the maid, I want the science of the maker. So Guru Parama Sri Ramakrishna also was like that. I don't want the science of the maid, I want the science of the maker. I don't want anything about creation, I want to know about the creator. So they had their own goal, right? They had their own aspiration, just as we have our aspirations. But if you just see history and they are remembered by posterity, by future generations, you may become a billionaire tomorrow, you may become the president of a big country, but what of that? Afterward, they will not remember, people will not remember. But these people are remembered. We construct temples for them, right? Their lives are read, their teachings are read by generations to come in the future. So then we understand actually where lies the real power. This society and this country recognizes only spiritual luminaries. Buddha, we remember today, a man who was born some 2,600 years back. We read in history. He is a living memory of people. We don't remember even our great grandfather. We don't even remember the names. But somebody who was born from 2600 years back, why do we remember him? Because he experimented with truth. Only such people are remembered in this culture. There lies true power. Just think. Tomorrow, there is Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. We are celebrating in the mutt. I extend a cordial invitation to you all. Thank you. Nice evening.